So time to go through the papers now, and here with me to review them this morning is the author and broadcaster Emma Wolfe. Unusually alone, but that doesn't matter. We're going to press on because there's lots to talk about, Emma. Nice to see you. So let's take a look then at the front pages of this morning's papers. And Lion Hearts Broken. That's how the Mirror describes England's World Cup quarter-final defeat to France. Harry's pain, that's the Sun's verdict on the England captain's feelings after missing that crucial penalty. There's the Sunday Times for you. All over for England again. The Star uses a French expletive in its post-match analysis. No need for translation, I don't think. And to the People, the England team are Qatar heroes. The Observer understands that the Royal College of Nursing and the Unison Union have offered to suspend their forthcoming strikes if the government agrees to substantive negotiations over pay. Speaking to the Sunday Telegraph, the Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting describes health unions as hostile and says the NHS must reform or die. And the Express has been speaking to former Labour Home Secretary David Blunkett, who says that the Christmas strike wave could cost the country £4 billion and lose Labour the next election. So Emma is with me to go through those papers. So a proper good morning to you. Hope you're feeling cosy enough in this freezing weather we're having, Emma. Let's go through the papers, and we'll have to deal with this England defeat, won't we? It's all over the papers. I know it's painful for a lot of us to look at those pictures once again, but we've got the Sunday Times, I think, first of all. Their headline there, it's all over for England again.
Yeah, they think it's all over, and Anna, it is. You can choose your headline. As you say, Lion Hearts Broken, Harry's pain, au revoir Qatar. You know, this is England's defeat yesterday in the World Cup, in the quarter-final. We crashed out, although didn't do badly. We put in a creditable performance. We're seen as a credible opposition. But we were beaten by the current champions. I think the sad truth is that when we came up against a really excellent team, we didn't make it, and obviously the saddest thing is that it's the skipper Harry Kane who was taking the penalties and missed that penalty, and that sent us out. So France go on; they'll be playing Morocco, which is very exciting. They'll be playing Morocco midweek, and then the final next weekend. But yeah, for us, that little ray of hope, sort of before Christmas. Something to lift I think there was a lot of controversy, obviously, surrounding the World Cup, and so much of that leading up to it, about it taking place in Qatar. But actually, people began to get behind it. People began to do that thing where everyone gets together and watches the game and all of that. So it is a real shame, obviously, for England. But yeah, the dream comes crashing down once again, a few weeks before Christmas. It's weird having a World Cup in this time of year, anyway.
It is very weird and really heartbreaking for Harry Kane, of course. As you say, his image on a lot of the front pages there, having missed that second penalty. And Gareth Southgate saying he's going to go away and need a bit of time to think about his future. So there are still kind of questions over that, I guess. But let's move on, shall we, to other issues. Not happier issues, of course. This is strikes as well, dominating many of the front pages too. The Observer, for example, they report on an interesting offer from the health unions. What are they saying here?
So this is quite a dramatic offer at the 11th hour, really. The first strike, this is a wave of, really damaging, crippling wave of health service strikes that are coming down the line. The first one being the nurses' strike on Thursday, the 15th, and then their second one, I think, is on the 20th. But we also have ambulance strikes and, strikes across the health sector, threatened or planned. So this is the first sign of flexibility from either side in these weeks of deadlock and dispute. This is the head of the Royal College of Nursing, Pat Cullen, has been saying, look, we will press pause on these strikes if you at least raise the issue, if you will at least discuss with us our pay demands. So she's not still sticking to this 19% pay demand. There may be wiggle room. There may be a possibility that they might accept something closer to the Scotland deal, where Holyrood agreed between 5 and 11%. But again, Anna, we're not hearing the other side. We are hearing that Rishi Sunak is prepared to stand firm. We're hearing that Steve Barclay, the health secretary, is not even taking calls. They have not spoken to the Royal College of Nursing, according to the Observer, for a week, which is astonishing, really, when you think of what we're facing potentially on Thursday, and with the ambulance strikes thrown in. So, it looks like there may be something happening, some movement, but we are yet to hear the government side and how they will respond to this, and whether they're going to just stick to their, you have been offered 3%, that is what is recommended, and that's what you'll get. So let's see.
Well, that's right. And I understand that Steve Barclay has also written in The Sun on Sunday today, warning of the risk to patients of strike action. So no sign of an easing of rhetoric on that side to date. But it will be interesting, as you say, to see what kind of response there is to the health unions calling for discussions that involve pay. Because, as you say, in The Observer, they say that in the meetings so far, ministers haven't wanted to talk about that particular issue, which you'd think was at the heart of it. So interesting to see how that does develop.
Exactly. The fact that they are, the health unions and Unison as well, sorry, not just the Royal College of Nursing, but Unison as well, crucially, the fact that they look as though they may be willing to be flexible on the 19%, which many people feel is just impossible at the moment, given the state of the public finances. But again, will the Health Secretary simply stand firm and say we're not discussing pay at the moment? Will the Prime Minister just stick to his guns? Let's see. We are at the 11th hour. We've got, 4 or 5 days to go. And these are going to be crippling strikes. These really are. They're going to really affect people in the lead up to Christmas with, flu, COVID, strep A, so many pressures on the NHS, as well as just the regular backlog and the regular winter season of pressure on the health service.
And Emma, very quickly, let's squeeze in the front page of the Mail on Sunday, and the suggestion that Harry and Meghan may not be welcome at the coronation. We've only got about 20 seconds.
Okay, it's a coalition of grandees, senior military figures and respected historians all urging Harry and Meghan in the wake of this explosive, incendiary, choose your adjective, incendiary Netflix series to stay away from King Charles's coronation in May. Whether or not they will be welcome is a real moot point. Lots of MPs are actually calling for them to be stripped of their titles, and there's a real sense now in the country.
We must leave it there, Emma. I'm so sorry. Out of time. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much indeed.